Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
Yo,
Welcome to the show this week. Man, we're gonna wait on our guest this week. This week, we're gonna actually have Pat on Dragon
yes,
Soul Reptiles.
I guess so.
Definitely want to pick his brain on a lot of different things. Definitely seen him in Atlanta. I mean, he's always been a guy that's always got some good positive energy. He's always kind of going to the beat of his own drum. So definitely want to pick his brain where he want to head in the industry. Um, Keep spirits up. Little tired, bro. A little tired. Been going through a lot these past couple weeks.
Man,
Man,
you've been going through it. I didn't think the
yeah,
hurricanes go hit your way, but
me,
you
me
know,
either. Oh yeah,
I
this
was
I
like,
guess.
ooh, that's a first.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go
Yep,
through the comments. What's going on, K&D 217 Pythons? What's good? Oh
what's
yeah, no
good, everybody?
problem, no problem, no problem. Definitely bringing the Tinley pickup for you. That's a heck of a pickup. They ended up getting the pastel hitting Gene Wama stranger double hat puzzle clown mail. So that's gonna be a
Oh, that's nice. Pat said he's gonna be a little bit late because you call him Pastel Pat.
ah. Everybody know that's pastel Pat.
But you put it on the banner. Everybody's
Oh,
like, oh no,
wow. What's going on, Banner? Happy to see
what's
Banner in
up?
here. Frank.
What's up, Banner? What's up, Frank?
Maybe. Oh yeah, people coming through. Selective Creations. Definitely a pleasure to have you guys. All City Serpents. What's going on? Frank is at everything, man. Frank is at everything. So, Darren, how's your week going, or how's your week been? I haven't actually spoken to you in a minute now. This is like the longest little hiatus we done kind of had. But we have.
Yeah, man, I've been putting in work, taking care of geckos, taking care of snakes, so and then rodents. I was like, matter of fact, I was working with the rodents before we even got ready to come on, so I was cleaning them. I still
Okay.
have like a little bit more to go, but I was like, let me hurry up.
What's your rodent split normally? What days you working on rodents?
Man, it's been coming to the weekends. Like, so Friday I'll start a little bit, do a little bit, and then um, start doing the geckos, feeding the geckos because I get crickets in. So then I
Okay.
try to do the geckos on Saturday, and then on Sunday I try to finish off the rest of the rodents.
Dad, you had a whole full blown store, full blown reptile shop. You got feeders, rodents, got crickets, the whole nine
So
yards.
those are, yeah, oh yeah, man,
Man, what's up,
gotta
Jose?
keep it going, keep it
Hey,
going.
no, I get it. I get it. You still what was the other was it New Caledonia species? The tokays. You still working with the tokays?
Still have four females. They're ready to go. I just
Okay.
need a male. I got four females. They're ready to go. Them females eat like
I'll
crazy
admit,
too.
I like the pied ones. Have you seen those? The pied
Yep,
tokays? Those are
I
pretty
seen
cool.
those.
Those are
I
pretty
seen
cool.
those.
They've
There
been
was
tagging
one.
you like crazy, or they don't tag you?
No, no, no. We good. We got a good relationship. When I open it, they head to the other side. They understand. They know. Okay, I'll go to the other side. You come in, give me food, cleaned it, wipe down the windows. You good to go. You good to go. We got an understanding.
So with the geckos, do you prefer the tokays or the cresties, or do you compare them at all?
I don't compare them because Cresties you can hold and they ain't really got to worry about it.
You
The
told me you
Tokay,
hold tokays.
man, that was one. These
Yeah,
other girls, they ain't got it. So what
yeah.
I use to really train them, I had this little stick and I
Hmm.
rub the back of them and they move forward.
Okay.
Now, if they even see the stick, they just move. So it's like, okay, here you go. All right, we got an understanding of each other. They ain't coming down. They don't want to be sprayed though. And I'll spray the inside of the tanks all the time. But they're like, don't spray me. I'm good until you spray me. Then I'm bark at you.
Oh, they'll bark. I see. I didn't
Oh
even
yeah.
know we haven't
No,
had that.
no, they bark.
Oh,
Males
wow.
make a weird mating call. Yeah, they're calling. It's a weird noise.
Yes. Yeah, tokays are wild. We never had tokays ourselves. We had lychees, and lychees are extremely territorial. I think
Oh
tokays are
yeah.
a little wilder though than lychees. Like a
Yeah.
tokay come out and just bite you like
They
right
got
out.
lockjaw. They got
Yeah,
lockjaw. They holding on.
yeah.
They're holding on.
And you got four?
Four, two, four females.
Lee. And you got the Chihuahuas too, right?
No, I don't have any Chihuahuas and any Lychees, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Just
And how
just
many
those.
geckos you up to?
Man, I'm cool 200 and I'm good with that. I'm
200
good.
geckos. This
Yeah,
look, we're gonna change it from Sloan Morris to Sloan Hoarder.
yeah, whatever. You got 200, you got 2,500 geckos. Like, what do you mean? I'm only at a fraction.
Oh man.
Now we can talk about snakes. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but not by much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the snakes, while we wait on Pat, like what are you up to numbers wise with your breeder racks, males and females?
Females, I'm at 65
Okay.
females. So
That's
males is
fine.
kind of like fluctuating because some are moving, some are staying. So it goes up and
That's
down with
so
my
crazy.
males.
'Cause a little over what 2 years ago, you were like getting close to like 100 females, and you just kind of revamped
Yep.
everything.
I have to, man. Times has changed. And those other
And it's still
females,
changing.
they
It's
gotta go.
changing
Yeah.
now.
I mean, there's some
So
females that are got some incomplete dominance, but their heads, those females are moving. I got two more
mhm.
females that are leaving. So yeah, they gotta go.
That's why, I always say, you got to move with the times. If you stay stagnant, you're going to be left behind. And you just got to work your projects. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're going to get deals, come across and you jump on them. Sometimes you're going to miss out on them. Sometimes you're just going to pay whatever fair market price is or overpay for certain
Yep.
things that you need for, your program. But you can't worry about chasing the dollar, if that makes sense. Like I said, shout out to 217. They just made a huge come up with that male. But they bought basically a pastel hitting Gene Woman Stranger double het male, from us. Our male, we bought a pastel Stranger double het puzzle clown male, and that male was 12 grand. You know what I'm saying? So if you fall in love with actually the dollar amounts here, that they're getting a gene more than what we started off with, and nowhere near that. You got to keep moving forward for whatever the vision is. You can't have what you're buying being your end game. We was talking about that with what was that other big combo everybody's liking right now that Justin produced.
With
Rife
the
just produced a bunch of them. What is it called?
is it lace or is it Pompeii? No,
Pompeii. Everybody's
Pompeii.
loving it. I like the Pompeii,
Hmm.
but at the same time, if you go into that specific project and say, you know what, I'm gonna buy this in hopes of just reproducing the same
Pompeii.
combo, you're already setting yourself up to lose.
No, this. You know what? So I was watching this live on um TikTok, right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes I get on there every once in a while and I look at some of the lives. But what is it? Is it Reptile Pit? Reptile Pit was talking about that. They were saying, kind of find your own lane and chase that lane,
Right.
than really actually following other people's lanes, right? But in the UK, they don't do that. They
Mm.
don't do that as much as what we do here. We kind of
Really.
find combos and then we just chase what everybody else is doing, right?
Mhm.
More probably the market value of selling those animals is more what you're chasing after. It's like, okay, if I make these combos and I have byproduct, then I know they'll sell because people are going to be looking for them. Versus they're finding their own road, kind of just working with dinkers
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
selling those.
I think it's also a misconception though too, because I and I may be wrong, but I feel like the industry continues to move every year, every few years, and now with genetic testing even faster.
Yeah,
So if things are moving faster, people are not identifying that certain combos that were entry level breeder combos or combos that you will work with in projects are now pet level. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it being pet level, but it's pet level. So they're not moving with it. They're just so like you've even explained several times. I won't make you go through your story over again, with Dreamsicle and things like that. But it's like, okay, well, a base Dreamsicle, no other genes at all. I think for the most part, we would agree that all right, now that's entry level, pretty much almost
yeah,
pet level.
yeah.
It's pretty much a good standard to have in your tubs, especially as a female. and work from there. I don't think anybody would turn that down. But at the same time, you know, I mean, look how long it took, you know what I'm saying, for you to chase that project and hit it. And it's like, okay, cool. I have the satisfaction of saying I could produce it or that I have produced it, but now where you going to go, you know, and now you're putting your incomplete dominant genes into it now. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting, definitely.
Hit the like button.
Jaffe, what's good? See, Jaffe just jumped in. Patrick, what's going on? Hey, everybody, man, if you're in here listening, go check out Patrick, man. I tapped into his channel. I don't know if you've seen, man, he came out with a full-blown music video. Like, homie can spit.
Really?
Yeah. And he's always tapped in. He's on all our lives. He comments on all our videos.
Did he share it anywhere? Where'd you see it?
On here on YouTube. So it's on his YouTube channel. So definitely
What's it under?
It's on his page. It's Patrick, a little bit of everything Saunders. He got a full-blown video. Yeah,
I'll check it out. Maybe you might be able to show it a little bit.
Yeah, I should be able to. I'm see if I can come on. Yeah, especially we waiting to kick things off with Pastel Pat. I'm gonna keep calling him that. I know it takes off.
Give him the forefront, especially since he tapped in. I always see him in the comments. What's up, Jaffe? He said, Pastel Pat.
Pastel Pat.
We're still trying to figure out who started that name. I don't know.
Well, I've seen it jump up when we was on Wiz. We was watching Wiz, and I don't know how it came about, but you know, when things like that come about, you know, it stick. You know, it's sticking. It's gonna be a long time, and I think it's because, you know, everybody pick and choose, you know, the genes that you like or dislike. You know, you even come at me too about pastel, and it's not, you know, the gene about pastel. It's about the business side. You know, especially with supers. Supers, I want to kind of stay away from as much as we can, and that doesn't mean that they don't produce beautiful snakes. But looking forward, you know, that means everything coming from whether male or female, no matter what you have, is going to be pastel because of the super. So it's just kind of situating yourselves, especially with a smaller collection. I mean, that's
really big. Like, because I kind of think about it. If I started over, like certain genes recessive, I'll work with only so many at once. You know what I'm saying? Instead of jumping into everything, collecting everything, and going from there.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, he dropped it 4 days ago, so we're gonna cue it up and play it here. Let's see.
What they say? Exclusive.
I know, right? Definitely. Hey, you gotta support the people that support you, man. Yeah. You know, that's how it is. Definitely how it is. Look, he's even getting some subs. That's what's good. Northeast. What's up, Zach? Gotta chop it up with him too. But check this out, guys. While we wait on Pat. Pat should be chiming in probably in another couple minutes. Let's see. Me and my savvy computer skills.
Man, here we've been hitting over 100 almost every day.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find out. Yes, Lord. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find out. Yes, sir. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find out. Yes, Lord. Close your eyes and look inside. Look. Close your eyes and look inside, you gon' find an angel that could be seen as a demon from a different angle. The universe is mangled cause we see ourselves as strangers. I'm coming back with bangers, love coming out the chamber. I'm full of God's favor, I'm bearing fruit cause I put in the labor. To all the haters, watch the middle finger. A whistleblower, I'm a bell ringer. I saw God in the mirror and I couldn't see the vision clearer. Before you judge, it's some things to consider. You don't wanna be called God, but you good with my nigga. See, I'm preaching about self-love, so let's make it official. Yeah, you know I'm good with the scripture, still carry the pistol. Them demons is out to get you, be cool and move different. Unconditional love is known to change in a minute. We pushing this to the limit. Physically I'll be gone, but I'm still here in the spirit. Falling short like a midget. Talk the kingdom of God, I'm already dwelling in it. You close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find her. Yes sir, yes sir. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find her. Yes Lord, yes Lord. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find her. Yes sir, yes sir. Close your eyes and look inside, and you gon' find her. Yes Lord.
Well, definitely. Yeah, man, it's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Love it. I know you peeped that shout out. He shouted out the midgets. I know you peeped that shout out. I know it. You couldn't get past that.
Hey, if I was a midget, I'll be getting a check.
Hey, that's all pride. That's all pride. You need to go get that check.
Disability check. I need a disability check. Right now, I'll take it. I'll take a disability check.
But Pat, man, keep doing, keep doing your thing, man. That's definitely your lane. Definitely.
No, keep doing it.
So
that's the
without further ado, from what I saw, that's his first music video, and I mean, it was like he is a pro. Seemed like he's been doing that, like that's his career. So definitely going. He got me hooked. So I'm definitely a supporter, and I'm gonna continue to support. So let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Pastel Pat, everybody.
What's going on? Will Petty for that. But I always start with that too, so I can't say nothing.
I know.
Yeah. So Will got me on check on that, so I can't even say nothing.
You know what, man? It's all love, man. It's funny because when I hear it, it's funny watching like Wiz, even watching Keys and watching everybody, camaraderie and everything. And even with your passion on how you explain, some of your projects, I think some people don't see the jokes in some of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think most of us do, and
for sure.
For people who, especially early on, let's say you get into this and you're just having fun, you're playing around and you buying beautiful looking snakes. But maybe they don't grow to be beautiful adults, and it's one of them things. It's like, how do I put it? Like football. I'll admit it. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, but it's like, if you're one of them fans where your team don't never win, you know what I'm saying? And you just like really ride and die with them, crash and burn, and it's like somebody says
it is what it is, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna ride with them.
Well, I'm the type that'll still call it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll call it out.
Oh man. So seeing you down in Atlanta, how'd you do down there?
Nah, man, I did great. And again, it's I think for me at least for right now, it's more about kind of being there, being the presence and building that kind of face, right, to the logo or to the snakes that I'm making. So again, I think Bob killed it because I mean Will was there too, there, and you were missing. But again, every vendor that was there, I like the selection of the people that was there. It was the usual networking people, and again, those people brought in the right, customers or people, right, coming in, and I had overall great conversations, and I think that does make a big difference when I vend the show, man. So again, quality people coming in.
How many shows have you been to so far?
I think around 6. I'm not counting, but yeah, like 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay, that's
you do Tinley. I've seen you been at Tinley.
But yeah, and again, it's not under my name still, it was either kind of like here and there. Mm-hmm. But again, man, Tinley's a tough one, bro, because not vending, there's so much upside and pros to it too. And again, vending there's a lot of pros to it too. So, it's tough, but yeah.
Every time I hear Pat on the mic, he sound like Joe you ride, late night. Like if you turn off the screen, you wouldn't even think you would think he was black all the way.
I heard that since I was like, I think in 6th grade. I answered a phone and people start talking to me like I'm my dad, right? Like we have the same exact voice. So
That's
But
why
yeah,
You're like, no, my kid.
it gets you out of some trouble.
no,
You
no,
know, that could get you out of some trouble. Like, yeah, this is bad.
yeah,
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 he didn't do his homework.
Yeah, okay, I got him. I
no,
got him.
no.
No
My
problem.
dad was 10 steps ahead of me, man. That voice wasn't gonna do nothing for me. You know what I mean?
He already knew.
He had me on check every time.
So, how long you been with the ball pythons?
2019, so what, 5 years?
Man,
Yeah,
this time moves
just
fast.
about. Yeah, I think it's like close to. Yeah.
At that
So
time
I
coming
started
in,
right before this COVID
ye-
wave, but at the same time I didn't reap the benefit of it because I got I got robbed my first investment for about 7,000. So
ooh,
that held me back, and I was like, whoa, well, maybe I shouldn't jump in. Maybe this industry is not as friendly and straightforward as it is.
Right.
And
What
then the
happened to
wave
the snake?
started.
Did the
So
snake
it
pass, or
was that.
what happened with the snake? Did the snake pass, or you didn't get it, or
Nah, man. So, I some people know, and again, I think this is good because
yeah,
certain things you can, research and things like that. And
right?
this so-called person I'm gonna disclose, claimed that he was close with Billy from Mutation
Mhm.
Creation. He was always talking to Justin, blah blah blah, right? And then
yeah,
he's a local dude that I met at the reefing store, and that's where I'm big on. I used to be a super saltwater, reef maniac, I guess, right? So I was a big hobbyist, and he came in talking about, hey man, ball pythons are great. There's profit in this. These are cool. Like there's morphs involved in this. I'll slide you in with my project, which is exclusive. I sold
Right.
some to Brian Barchek already. Man, the whole
You
nine
start
yards. I don't
name
want to get
yeah,
into
dropping.
it,
Yeah.
yep,
bro.
yep.
So at the end of the day, the girl I just got rid of this year, but the girl was black pastel,
Mhm.
champagne, supposedly hypo, visual pied, possible heifer clown. Okay, and what he was trying to pitch to me was, man, you put black pastel, champagne, and hypo together, man, you making purple pies, like literally purple, right? And yo, like it made sense until I knew black pastel pies are really white, right?
Right,
Yeah,
But
right.
yep.
again,
I white.
that's on me. So I took one
Yeah,
on the chin, and took a step back, and that's when the COVID rush started. And then, instead of being revengeous or being salty about it, I was like, you know what, man? Let me get into this. I'm gonna
Mhm.
surpass this guy that makes a living off lying and selling fake
yeah,
dreams or whatnot, right?
yep.
Right.
Literally. Um, and I think I'm doing pretty well right now. And every time something happen, man, that's just how I am, right? Like you got to push through. If
Oh
it
yeah.
don't
Oh,
hurt,
no.
then there's no gain, right? Like
Yes.
Yeah, we
Lessons
definitely.
learned.
that's the fuel for me, man. When I see some crooked things or things people do wrong, it just makes me think like, okay, how can I navigate, to push through and still do what's right? Instead of
Yep.
I think
yeah.
that's
That's
definitely good.
staying 10 toes down.
You
Ten
have
toes
to.
down, still going. Yep.
You
How
have.
many people do you think, other than me, I'm at least being vocal about it? How many
Mhm.
people do you think invest 10,000 and get out within the first year or two because
Oh
they're
yeah.
like, man, yo, that's the wrong start. Like I messed up,
Right.
you know,
Right now, that's
from a
what you're
business
seeing. You're
perspective, obviously, right? Yeah, but
seeing those people that put that money in and kind of maybe close to the real animals that they really need to pick up, but then they're like,
yeah,
oh, well, the value's not there, so I'm getting out.
Hmm.
So I'm getting
Yeah.
out. I just took a gamble and I lost.
It's funny
So
because a lot of people have that same kind of startup story, especially with all respect to them, but name dropping. Just they'll always come in and name drop. And it's one thing to if that's how you build your collection. That's how you build your collection. I mean, kudos to you. But if I can do the research, and I've met a lot of those big name people, and I think they're awesome and they're cool. It's not taking anything away from what they've already done in the industry.
yeah,
But
for sure.
if you're going to tell me, hey, Joe Blow, this huge name, produced this single gene clown, and it's, for lack of a better expression, double the price of this other beautiful clown that I can see as visually clown that is made by somebody else who's up and coming, just as solid. There has to be something there to
Yeah, for sure.
justify the business decision. you know what I'm saying, to pay double for the same thing. Now, there's a quality difference. You know, if the quality is drastically different, then yeah, I'm gonna pay for the quality difference. But on a level playing field, for me, a name is not gonna justify double the price for the same thing. You
Right.
know,
You know,
so to me, the only way
out my
you
ass.
really can kind of etch out your own lane, and it's really important now because with all these
Give me
recessives,
1 second, y'all. My
go
kid
ahead,
woke up. Give me one
no
second.
problem, bro. With all the supers, all of that, it's like you can etch out your own lane because things are getting so advanced. I mean, you got so many different combinations. Once you go down that rabbit hole, it's so hard to produce some of this rare stuff. Imagine we jump online right now. We was just talking smoked and scrambler a couple weeks ago. What happens? You see a yellow belly fire smoke scrambler, no recessives in it. You already got a 4 gene combination that nobody else is going to probably produce for the next 5 to 7 years. If you had that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you focus on some of these combinations and putting them together, man, even without the recessives in it, you can be so far ahead with some of this stuff that's, you know,
I
hitting
mean,
people.
I kind of want to see the hypo BPI Xanthic monsoon clown. Yeah,
Hypo.
say that fast. Say that fast.
Gee, yeah, anybody close to that?
I don't even think so.
I'm about to say,
They
man.
just in the clowns right now.
Oh man, Beast Morse, what's going on? The bro, Brian, what's going on? He done had.
What's up?
Speaking of scrambler, that man got a bunch of it himself. Definitely.
He just picks them up, or he's had it in his
Well, no,
collection.
he's had it in his collection. He's already working and running with it.
Oh yeah.
And the homie chimed in, DJ Glizzy, baby.
He
DJ
said DJ
in
Glizzy.
the house. Nah, that's the homie, man. Definitely. Gotta stay tapped in. Definitely gotta stay tapped in.
Man, I still wonder how that all started. Think about it. The whole no homo kind
It
of
started.
thing, and
Oh, that's Cam.
Man,
That's a New York thing, man. That's a New York thing.
it's not a good thing, man. I was just talking to somebody about that. Like, more and more you do that, you know, that's corrupting your mind the way
Yes,
you
it
think,
is.
right? And I kind of brought it up to Wiz and everybody, like, yo, all this no Diddy, no homo, pause. Like, don't bring that over here because
okay,
You said leave that alone.
has nothing to do with how I gotta talk. Because now
Right.
you getting into
now
this
everything you
wrong
think you say,
algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
Everything you're thinking about, you think
you're
it
like,
twice.
No,
wait,
I'm not
oh
doing
man,
that. No, I'm not doing that. we straight like Indian hair over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we keep keep it.
So this year, what was how many clutches you had, and what was your most anticipated?
16. I had 16.
Oh wow.
that's a good
Okay.
number. Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah, I think. I mean, it is a lot because I'm not done yet, right? I'm still in the process of it, but it's a lot to soak in and a lot of things. Yeah,
Okay.
Is this your biggest year?
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No pastel.
Cut
There's
it
some
out.
pastel.
Yeah.
There is some pastel.
Keep coming, baby. Keep coming.
There's some pastel. But I'm trying to wean it up, you know, again, right? So, you know, again, right? Like, back to the jokes, right? Like, if I can joke around it and I can dish it
Right.
out, I should be able to get it back, and that's the result of pastel pad, I guess. And
Yeah.
Right.
it's thick,
Now,
you know.
let me ask. I feel like I already know. You know what I'm saying? But it's only an assumption.
I think everybody know, bro. I'm telling you,
know?
even some big breeders came up to me and was like, "Yo, Pat, like, I think you're a little too vocal with this. You know, I don't know if there's too many ups to this, Pat." I was like, "Man, though, if I can't say what's on my mind, though,
Right.
then I wouldn't say nothing, right?" So
Yeah.
again, you know, yeah, but
So
there's some
what's your
pastels.
collection? How many snakes you have total, roughly?
Oh man, probably like 80,
Okay.
90, yeah, around there, I think.
And you're kind of phasing, you know, that specific gene out. Is it a business decision, or is it just I just don't like it? What's your approach?
It's really not business, in my opinion, because it's just, yeah, like you said, it's more had to do with genetics, right? Again, pastel is a very dominant gene and it could do a lot, but
Mhm.
I feel like, okay, so if everybody's doing that, I rather do something a little different, right? And in order to do that a little different, you can't have pastel in the mix because it's too different, right?
Right.
And again, I think there's two different palettes you could go with, you know. So,
Well,
and again, in clown, which is my favorite recessive, those dots don't do it for me. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm, pursuing in a clown. So, again, kind
got
of
it.
like leopard too, right? When you put leopard up in there, man, like you
Now,
don't get credit for all the genes that are in there. I feel like
Right. Oh
certain
yeah, you
genes,
don't.
again, man, hey,
I said that.
don't,
I said that.
let me stop, because again, like I get judged for it, but again, like that's how I feel. So again, certain genes, less is better for me ever since the beginning. I rather have less genes and build the right way instead of
Right.
fucking,
For
just throwing
piling
Hail
on,
Marys
piling
per
on.
se, right? I'd rather check it down, like you said on football, take those
Oh, yeah.
curls if it's there. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that. So again, I'd rather build up to what I really want to see.
Well,
That
So
we
makes sense.
all been kind of watching what combos go good together, what genes, what incomplete dominants go to good together. We've been watching that for
right.
years. Which ones mesh together? Which ones are color and pattern? We kind of paid attention to those, so we kind of have like a base. Now it's just adding those one combos that nobody else has made. But
Right.
with the clown and
Very much
leopard,
true. Yeah.
it takes the whole pattern away. Even with blade or inchy, inchy does the same thing. So then when you got inchy blade clown, you lose all that. It's
Mhm.
completely gone, and you got that back stripe, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried to phase out Blade specifically, but it's just so hard to even ID like single gene Blade is
Yeah,
very
it
different.
is, man.
So
Yeah.
we're
It's
trying
goofy,
to stay
man.
away from it, and we're limiting Inchy. We're not getting away from it, but we're limiting Inchy because Inchy
I'm
is
doing
just
the same thing, bro.
yeah.
Not that I don't like it, but I
Oh, I
have
like it. It's
enough
just
of it to work in my base
right.
to where I don't need, or and she doesn't add value to adding, to my collection, because that part is set for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, I like Enchi. That's why it's in the collection in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly. Other than Inchy being limited, pastel being something to phase out, what's something that you want to either add more of or focus more on in your collection?
Man, for me, I think one is Mandarin, bro. Like, again, there's a
Mandarin.
lot of different levels of Mandarins and Mandarin hypos, and again, different price points depending on where you're getting it. So I'm still scouting it out per se. I'm not
Man,
committing
you're
to it
still
yet,
baby.
but
It's okay.
I like what Mandarin's doing.
Mandarin, yes. Now, where you get the quality of Mandarin. Mandarin, I've seen the lower quality and I've seen the higher quality of Mandarin, but I think we do have that higher end and that lower end, because some of the stuff that's like lower end is kind of like when I first started producing with Orange Dream, I had a nice looking Orange Dream, high intensity Orange Dream, and then just an Orange Dream. You're like, it's okay. It doesn't really look too much of
Right.
anything, but it's Orange Dream. But that
Yeah.
same animal will produce high intensity Orange Dreams and some well quality Orange Dream too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's wild. That's why I have a high intensity orange stream clown het pod male that's I mean he's producing some extremely bright orange streams like and I'm like
Man, it's
man
different,
I don't
bro.
want to let him go at all
I
so
pledge allegiance to that when I entered the hobby, and especially Ozzy certified. And I wanted to start off right, like you said.
yeah
That was the OD that I wanted. So and again, the OD is probably one of my favorite combos. And you'll see, like, as I build my collection, you'll see OD's big part of it. But
right
man, it's different, like you said, bro. It's different. But
and
Mandarin, I'm still iffy because there's that Mandarin hypo and Super Mandarin
Yes.
hypo in the mix.
right that's what I was about to
Again,
get into yeah we was lucky enough to get one and I wish I think that's the other thing about having smaller collections. You can kind of take 50 million pictures of the same snake every week, like over and over and over. So sometimes things end up falling through the cracks once you get 200
yeah.
snakes, 250 snakes, and you're making sure that
Yeah.
the care and everything is there. Handling and doing all of these things is more important, than pictures and videos, tucks. So we're tending to the needs and having fun and enjoying them. But I wish we would have took more pictures when they were smaller, like when we first purchased them. I actually got a pastel. Our only in our Mandarin is a pastel leopard in our Mandarin that was pos had hypo. We got her tested and she's not had hypo, so that's pretty much it. But as she progressed, she was super, super dark, even as a pastel leopard in our Mandarin. And now, like, she's closing in on 1,000 grams, and she's like,
Wow.
and I'm like, that's
Yeah, that's aging well.
yeah,
That cleaned the whole pastel up, in
the
my opinion.
whole exactly.
Almost
So
look confusion like at this point. Yeah. Not
right,
I mean
so
again, right? Like there's pastel traits, but again, that Mandarin, man.
yeah.
And again, to what Darren said, you can take that female to others and still
Oh
create,
yeah,
and wean out certain genes, add more genes. Again, that's I think the beauty of it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Man, see,
Mandarin was that gene that, like, man, I was like, it's just another orange dream gene. It's not just another orange dream. And then I went to Justin's
mhm.
and I seen that Mandarin. I said, Will, I want Mandarin in my collection
Yeah,
now.
you told me, and then I said I'll get one, and I should have got. I really want a super. That's what I want. I want a super,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah, get it,
Yeah,
Will. Yeah.
that's what I want.
I'll buy the lowest side female off of that. You know what I
I
mean?
know, right?
Yeah.
I want a super,
Mhm.
man.
Nah, but I really like Mandarin, and I think there's a lot of legs to it. I think that's
Definitely.
one gene I'm keeping a close eye on for
Yeah.
sure.
You definitely need to see it in person. Yeah, Mandarin is one of those genes
Yeah,
because
I
of
was with there
the
and looking at it. The Super
orange.
Mandarin hypo, man. That thing ages like wine. Yeah, just a
Wow,
simple, right? Just a super hypo at that. So again, imagine, right, what you can do with that. So
a lot.
So another question for people that's watching this a little hesitant on the social side, not just the social media, but the social side. I've seen
no.
you on several different social media platforms. Constantly, you're always yourself. You're always genuine. We hook up. We crack jokes in person.
Right,
You
right.
know,
We turn
but
up. Yeah, right.
yeah, we turn up and it's genuine. It's like, what kind of advice can you give to people who's trying extremely hard to get into the hobby and into the industry, not so much trying to sell something or anything, but just trying to become a
Mhm.
part of the community? Like, what would you tell
Yeah.
them?
I would say again, Tinley is a good way. Patreon is a good way. Again, like you're gonna have to. Again, I was that type, right? Like you said, I was like, man, as crazy as it sounds, I'm more, introvert than extrovert most of the time. I
It's
like to
me.
take my time and focus, but a lot of people take me for the opposite, right? Like, no,
Mhm.
no, you're so extrovert, but no, no, there's a lot more in my mind that I'm not letting out, and most of that is everything I say is built on that introvert side, but that does not progress you. You also have to face that, right? I think that's what you're getting at, Will, is like
Mhm.
as uncomfortable as it could be, there's
Some is.
still a lot of people that you can connect, that you can click with. And I think
Right.
that's important. And don't keep it too small, and don't limit yourself in a small circle. Try, different, like, different country food or whatever, like however you want to, um say it. But right, that helped me in so many different ways, and not so much listening to one person and kind of going and keeping a small circle, but getting that perspective, right? Like joining up for Canova, Will's RCR.
Hmm.
Certain, again, not anybody, but certain people that as I was getting in and getting serious, I was like, I like the moves that these guys are making,
Right.
and I will learn to see and kind of observe, not even like so. And again, you notice that there are people who are investing the same to kind of learn the same, right? And they're serious too, and you start clicking with actually the Patreons more than the
Hmm.
actual. You see what I'm saying? And it
Yep.
happens in every Patreon, every group, bro. But you got to do it. That's my advice. Is whichever way is comfortable for you, you just got to come out of there, because again, you're a business. If the owner never comes out of this little box, and just you could barely see him every ever,
Right.
better be making some
I
really
think
good
things
animals, man.
will end up changing eventually. Like we have Patreon on the Gecko side, and it's been amazing. But
Yeah.
as like a creator, you're super limited on what you can do. Especially when it's more of a fulfillment issue. It's like when we came into the geckos, we've been doing that 8-9 years. It's like, okay, they had geckos way before we started. You know what I'm saying? So you run into a situation like even now, we're a little over 2 years doing the ball pythons. People have been doing ball pythons way before we started. So trying to reinvent yourself in the manner of, okay, you have content, you have production, you have things that people want. Now, where do you go with it? So
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
approach Patreon with it, it's like, this is an amazing platform, but maybe we probably need to do a video on that. But the Patreon side of things, you really kind of get screwed a lot as the creator too.
I
In the
totally
tough
feel you on
days.
that, man.
Yeah,
Too much
man, you do.
responsibility for me, bro. Like
Yeah,
the way I
it's hard.
am,
It's
yeah,
hard
yeah.
because even when
How
your patrons, let's say a patron has an issue, we had a big issue lately actually, where someone signs up for Patreon and they put in the wrong email, literally by
Mm.
one letter. It was a mistake on their
oh
they put in the wrong email, but Patreon allowed them to sign up,
Right. Yeah,
pay,
we'll take that.
open them up the whole Patreon account, and they can see everything, but
Hmm.
they can't get any alerts or anything because it don't go to their email because that's not their email.
Yeah,
So I
customer
talk
service.
about this because they try to go through customer service, and customer service for Patreon don't respond to them at
That's
all. And as
crazy.
the
oh
creator, we have no point of contact. I can't call anyone for customer service.
That's crazy, bro. Nobody will
to,
know unless you get in that situation. And again, how much money is Patreon making with this
So
idea?
that's the other side
That's
of it.
crazy.
Man, I'll put it to you like this: out of $100, you'll see 65 of it.
That's crazy, man.
So that's what they always. But and
No
I'm
customer
fine with
service
that.
needed,
But
man.
where's the customer service? That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
So
automated, man.
it,
Whatever, man.
it's
Whatever
hard.
happens, it's all
It's
free
hard.
game. That's crazy.
So I think there will be other platforms.
Shout outs
It
to
is
you guys too.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
No,
It's
like
hard.
100%. Because if you guys don't do it again, right, you guys are providing that safe circle and you guys do a lot, and people got to realize that that's a lot they're signing up for. And
It is.
again,
It is.
nobody's going to be ever 100%, happy, but you know what I mean? You guys are
And
That's
trying
the
your
next
best.
step. Talk about
and
Patreons and somebody starting a Patreon because nobody
we
hears about
need,
that
yeah,
part of it
we
at
need to
all.
talk about it because you know what? I think every single platform has it in one form or another, and you're just trying to instead of you picking the best possible solution, you're kind of picking the best of the evils, because you have Patreon, you also have Instagram because you could do
Right.
the Instagram kind of what subscriptions. You also have here on YouTube where people can, not just subscribe to you, but they can join. All of it is the same thing. But the one thing that all of them have in common, you do not have a live person you can contact on any of them. So it's like
Right.
once somebody comes out with something that's automated, that's going to kind of keep everything in line, the work, clean for everyone, because you want to be able to. I mean, imagine somebody's paying into because you have to look from both sides, the consumer and the creator. That's
Yeah.
what we try to pride ourselves on. That's why we do the whole savings account. We eat so many fees. We eat the Patreon fees, then we turn around and we make sure if somebody's paying 100 and we see 65, we credit them for the 100. We eat it.
Right, right. Yeah, man. I feel
but
you.
then,
They
but then
gotta
it's like
appreciate that too. You gotta
they
know where you're coming
do,
from when they use the credit. Like, you know what? Let
yeah,
me get another 50% off that. So
right.
when I use the credit, like, yo, like, come on, like, you gotta work with me here, right?
But at the same time, you can't be that callous to say, all right, now you have somebody, let's say, that's been a part of the whole family for a year or over a year, and now they're into you $1,200 or whatever. You're talking about mortgage payments by this time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're having issues where they can't get signed in, and you're trying to help them, and you literally have nobody you could talk to, and they're just kind of like
Crazy.
stuck. So it's a tough thing, and I can only imagine like Mutation Creation or Canova or those
Right.
sides,
Yeah.
platforms.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets really really huge. So we
You
do
have to
our best,
outsource it, Will, like, hey, I can only do so much,
right?
to the geckos and ball python and Patreon, but in my opinion, you would have to call the credit card. Like that's on you, right? You put in the wrong information. I hate to say it, but you gotta be proactive and figuring out how to shut this off and start a new one. You know, and
Definitely.
we'll
So
take care of you. Who? Yeah,
you know,
we'll
like
take
if you
care of you.
put in the wrong email address, sometimes it usually stops it and be like, oh,
Right.
and back
That's what I
email.
would think they would have in there, but no, they don't.
Oh, they're
You
like,
want to hear
yeah, just
something
go ahead and go
crazy?
through. We just want that
So
bread. Go ahead, drop that money off.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
pretty
an
much
Apple. I have an Apple account since that's probably 20 years old. You know,
right.
maybe even longer, right? So this email that I signed up originally was a Korean email, dog. And so it was like, I was using it as a login and I was actually using that email, right?
Right.
That email company went bankrupt or it just got shut down, bro. So my email doesn't even exist, but there's so many like apps, right? Like certain things that I bought that I didn't want to switch over, right? So I still have an Apple account that they're sending email to a non-existing email, and they don't do nothing about it. I probably have to call them, but I can't edit it on the phone or nothing, dog. Because they'll be
Man,
like, yo, confirm your email. I'll be like, yo, that email is not a good verification right now. I'm trying to
right.
tell you.
I don't know,
Oh,
man. I think this it's so easy, in my world to kind of fix a lot of these issues, and it's because of direction. Everything is automated. You can't call
yeah,
your
bro.
cell phone provider and say, "Hey, let me talk to somebody."
Yep.
And a
Yep.
lot of this stuff is outsourced. They've gotten away from call centers. There's really no call centers like that anymore.
No, they're
Normally,
all
we
outsourced,
call
offshore and stuff.
right,
They're not even here.
or set up in somebody's home where they're
Yeah,
punching in and punching
yeah.
out. And literally answering the phone on a
Oh,
headset and the computer at their home, which is fine. But I just think
Nah.
that
You know
should be
what
an
drives me even crazier, Will, is when I see people acting worse than computers. And I
yeah,
be looking at them like, yo, come on. Like, again, in a lot in the service industry or whatnot, where I'll be like, you know what? If a robot did this job, it would probably be the same. And I'll be getting upset, man. I'll be like, man, we got to do better, everybody. Like, you got, what I'm saying, we're not robots for a reason. There's
right.
advantages to that. Like, you know,
Oh yeah, there are definitely advantages. I spin that into the show thing, being that you've vended already a few shows. For when I've vended shows or Audrey and I have vended shows, I love being a two-person party because, me, I'm a big talker. She's a big
yeah.
talker. It's very unlikely that we'll be engaged in extended conversation at the same time, but sometimes it may happen. But we're
It's a better
we're
vibe.
able to. Right, we can support each other and kind of deal with everything, and especially when you're dealing with someone in the community. I love it because we put out
For
so much
sure.
content that now we get to meet the people and we're engaged and we're locked in, and they'll even say, "Hey, you go ahead, go take care of the customer." I'm like, "All right, cool, don't leave," because nobody is bothering you.
Yeah.
You give them that vibe and they get to learn who you really are on camera and in person, that you can go take care of business, deal with them, deal with other people, and be genuine, and still be able to come back to that person and pick up right where you left off and keep on having your conversation. It's not always about the buck, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure,
That's
man.
what I've learned about the shows. It's more about networking more than anything. And the
I've
hangout
ended,
after.
now that I think of it, I mean, again, I am solo, but again, I don't think I've ended the show solo ever, meaning that, again, with different folks, I've ended a show with KG and D, Matt Byram, David Levine.
Right.
Um, I also vended show with Juan. Recently I vended a couple shows with Juan. I vended show with Ken from Primal. Um, yeah, like again, to your point, and again, I was building up my stock. And now if you don't have enough stock and you have the table space and you have a good, friend or whatnot that you can, vend together, again, it might bring two totally different aspects of advantages, to your
Right.
booth and yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny you say that too, because in a how do I put it? When we were getting in, there was so much said about, oh, don't do ball pythons, and it's always been the general complaint. We look up to a lot of the breeders, but it's always like, oh, if you're not one of them, you ain't gonna make it. And I don't understand why people say that, because in my opinion, everybody we've crossed, but we haven't been burnt yet. I hope we don't. get burned. But at the same time, like everybody that we've crossed paths with has been extremely helpful.
Right.
You know, and you know, we talk about bomb projects, KG's the home. I mean, we've talked. You know, I've got his direct line. I can call him, pick up the phone.
For
You know, we've
sure.
purchased several from him. Like it just is what it is, and he's always been helpful. And there's nothing really for them to
That's
gain.
another guy. Yeah, they'll go out the way to help too, and
Yeah, there's nothing for
actually
them to gain.
genuinely loves helping. Right? You know,
Right.
it's
And you
definitely
don't see that often in other
yeah,
places. So to be in such a cutthroat industry, I see a lot of people out there helping people. You know,
for sure, man. And
I
that's
really,
who I want to support. You know, again,
yeah,
as much as I can, and we should all support that kind of behavior
Yeah,
right,
and whatnot for sure. You know.
right.
that took a long time to change.
Yeah, I know
Long time.
you in a minute. Oh, you see they gave you a
Yeah,
shout out. I just put it up there. They talking about you, Darren. That's fresh.
Oh
Fresh out
yeah,
the box.
yeah. He
Fresh
fresh.
out the box.
yeah, look at that lineup. Look at that lineup.
just for men. Fresh
Even
out
though,
the
man,
box.
I tell you, it's maybe been like 30 days. My main barber committed suicide, man.
Oh, dang.
That's
Damn,
crazy. Yeah, did not see that
sorry to hear
coming,
that.
but yeah,
That's
that is
crazy, man.
crazy.
Yeah. You know what? That's another person I heard, and two person I heard this month. Again, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
name nobody, but a very close reptile breeder that I know, his actual friend committed suicide too. And I was like, bro, I was
yeah.
like, that's crazy to me, you know?
On top of that, my mom's boyfriend, his cousin, which he's only 5 years older than me. I've known him since I was 17.
Hmm.
He used to come to the house all the time. He's 50 now. Well, not anymore, but he ended up killing his girl and her uncle and then committed suicide
That's
in
wild.
Long
What are you
Beach.
coming to, man? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Dog.
It's more of the times right now too.
Yeah,
Stress
stress
level.
levels. But I mean, it's no excuse. I don't want to make excuses because life is going to be hard at times for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, my condolences to everybody's family. You know, but you know, you got to make sure you keep your mental health in check.
For
Um,
sure, man. That's 100.
yeah, you definitely
You
need
get
to.
lost in the mix, or so many people get lost in the mix,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you
big
feel
time.
like you're doing something right, and then you feel like you're on a path, and when you feel like that with the waves wash out on the beach and you're the only thing left, man, it feels weird, like, yo, where did everybody go, where did everything go,
Mhm.
you know? But
Um,
that's why you got to have a strong backbone, man. Plant your roots.
big,
Don't be in the
big.
water swishing around, man. Plant your roots.
It's funny you said that too, Pat, because you know that's a little off reptiles, but you know we don't have an answer to everything. But you know, Audrey and myself, we actually raise our kids differently. You know, I feel like a lot of what society as a whole in these generations that's coming up now in these times, they're not used to being told no.
Yeah, yeah.
So like
Yep.
No,
sometimes you got to tell, you know, these kids no, you got to build up some type of resilience, some type of perseverance where, you know, they keep on pushing for it. If it's something they really want, they still gonna want it when it's that time. So
gotta get them ready, right, to leave. Well, I
yeah,
think that's our job in general as
yeah,
pops, right? So I tell
absolutely.
my kids, you know, you gotta learn how to wait. Life is about
Absolutely.
waiting. It doesn't matter what it is. So don't rush, right? And like you
Yeah.
said, certain things, man. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Charlie, the homie. I gotta tap in with
Yeah,
Charlie.
Charlie's the homie,
He's
man.
gonna
No,
page
I'm
me.
not gonna. Nah, dude, I'm the last one to volunteer for nothing. You should know. Mm-mm, nah,
Oh
that's the real
man.
one right there, man. Charlie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, he definitely is, man. I don't see how he's able to have time to jump on and listen and watch, even comment on a lot of the
you're gonna
stuff
turn
that he's
into a
involved.
vampire one day, man.
Yeah, he's
I see
busy.
the
Busy, man.
transition already slowly happening.
Oh man, I see. Bullish is talking about crypto. We're not involved. Well, Audra is more of the crypto person than I am. I would rather deal in real estate. But yeah, we haven't dabbled
Hey,
on my side as far as crypto too much. I
hey,
think,
man. I don't judge. I don't judge what your hustle is, man.
hey,
If you
you better
believe
have
in
a
it, go
hustle.
get
I
it.
said,
Yeah.
you better have a
We
hustle.
have to diversify now, y'all. It's
Yeah,
not about, again, goes back to that, right? Like you gotta find your little niche because again, well, I feel like you follow a lot of this, and Darren, I already know you kind of are aware of this too. Is what's our vehicle to our end game, and what does that look like? And that
Right.
has to be important, right? It's not
Absolutely.
about just having what you want now and thinking about things later. It's about, yo, what am I actually, well, like, what does my life look like, as an end game, right? And what am I doing to get to that?
It has to be. And then you got to just realize where you're at. Like me and you, Pat, and then hopefully get into Darren's spot, retiree, latter part,
Yeah, yeah,
grandkids and
yeah.
stuff. I mean, we gotta prepare. We coming.
Man, look at that
And Will,
interior, y'all. Look at that, man.
you
Damn,
are in
that
your
curtain
40s.
probably cost 2 stacks right there. Damn.
Get out of here.
Damn, I want to know what kind of fabric you're using right there, dog. That's shutting off all the lights too, man.
Hey,
Damn.
come
Oh,
on, man.
Hey, but nah, but
All
but
y'all
all
in your
jokes
40s.
aside,
Don't even trip. You right here. You guys are right here. Right
you
next
know,
to me.
you know, we're supposed to talk about reptile, man. I'm telling you, I'm not good at that, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
But again,
right
right, we
here.
can get into reptiles and say this and that. But again, man, I feel like I'm still new, and I talk to a lot of older breeders. It's those will come right over time. Like I was in a stage where I wanted all the genes. It was about to catch up. And I think, Will, I heard you talking about it multiple times in the streams as well. But you gotta pace this on your own, man.
Oh yeah.
You can't get in the gym and like, yo, like I'm gonna be like Will in 1 month, man. I'm just gonna work out 8 hours a day and I'm
Nah,
gonna
that ain't
get
gonna
there.
happen.
You know what? If you do, you're probably gonna get injured, dog. Right? Like and you gotta enjoy the ride. And if you're doing things right, you can always supplement along the way and get more boost into your projects. I feel like,
Right. Oh yeah.
and I just like using metaphors for shit. I feel like a lot of things in life they're connected, man. Like if you get the principles down and you have a certain approach to things, right? I treat pastel like salt and sugar, right? You guys work out. There's different ways to cut that out, but again, right? You got to cut that out. That's
Right.
how I see it, right? I'm not saying, yo, like I'm just gonna strictly never eat, but at the same time, if you keep making excuses, you're
Hmm.
never gonna cut it out,
Right.
So
Because always going to be an excuse why. Oh
yeah.
yeah, because this.
But
No,
I
you're right.
want you guys to prove me wrong. Again, past I'm not, man. Me saying something shouldn't change anything, right? But man, I'm telling you, man, like non-pastel, I think has a more leg in the future in business or the way it
Some
looks.
things,
Like,
yes, because
yeah,
we seen zebra and we seen zebra without pastel. We seen zebra with fire. It still looked like a regular zebra, but then when you add pastel to it, it was like, oh wow, it's a big difference.
Right.
yeah. I mean, fire is not a good matchup. That's a different weight class, but I'll let that pass.
Yeah, I like that's why.
It just didn't
Because
look
they're
that
like,
great.
you know what, a
In
good kind of comparison to pastel is the Mandarin, dog. In my opinion, like that kind of hypo look of Mandarin is what kind of color tone I want, right? And again, pastel bro, the DG stuff. I know what you're saying, zebra. Like, yo, they be popping too. But again, everybody should be different, and I
Yeah.
just happen to hate pastel. It is what it is, man.
Hey.
And my friends still offer me pastel. Ain't that crazy, y'all? Everybody
yeah,
like that. My close friends be like, man, hey, yeah, by the way, this one's for sale. I mean, before I put it up, did you want it? It was like, what is it? As soon as I hear the word pastel, I'm like, you're not even my
You
real
serious?
friend, dog. Hey, stop calling me, man. Stop calling. Out of
hey,
anybody,
hey,
though, you want to offer it? No.
Oh man. So
But I
out of
just,
this
like
year,
you know,
let's see. How many holdbacks did you hit?
I don't even have an exact count. We'll probably close to 10 to
Okay.
15.
oh yeah,
And there's
Okay.
still a couple more. So, but I made a lot of triple head and quad head this year. So those are kind of like a long-term stash, right? It's
Oh
a
yeah.
little different.
yep.
And there's certain animals that I need to really be active in the next couple of years to
Oh,
put back to that.
oh yeah.
So,
No, that makes
but yeah,
sense.
bro, it's getting out, man. I feel like, so I have a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
3 kids, right? Youngest right there watching YouTube being 2 years old. And, they're starting to play sports, bro. Like, yo, it's a
Busy.
lot right now, but,
Woo, 3 kids. Ouch.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
98 hatchlings on the ground, right? And to keep them all fed and happy, you know, again, IDing, right? Sexing, making sure I'm on point with that, you know, posting pictures. Bro, I'm slacking with 40 animals, Will, so don't beat yourself over it. Cause I got some animals I should be posting that I've never even taken a picture to post,
Right.
you know.
So, also, you even breed your own rodents too, huh?
Yeah. I invested big in that. So again, long story short, man, that's a big dependency, right? That
Hmm.
I did not have control over. And that's something that I really didn't like, you know. Again,
Oh yeah.
same business principle. I don't want a single point of failure, no matter what plan it is.
Hmm.
So I was like, I could pay for rodents 10-year up front, pretty much. That's kind of how I processed it, right?
Right.
If I don't get a shed, I could probably go frozen or something and get by for the next 10 years with the money I'm gonna build the shed, build the racks, all the time going in. And I
Right.
was weighing it. Nah, man, I was like, you know what? I just gotta do it. Just gotta do it. You know, I
Yeah.
was one of them. Like I might move next year, Darren, but I built it because at the end of the day, insulated shed with electric. If I clean that thing up, man,
Yeah.
that's
Somebody's
you
gonna have
know up
another
on the
storage
real
unit.
estate. Yeah, somebody will
Yeah.
like that, you know. But
Yeah.
again, man, that's one biggest dependency in my opinion in my game that I wanted to take the driver's seat on, you know.
Right. Right. That's what Audra and I talk about. So the next, I guess, piece of property we get, we're gonna be in the sticks, you know, so like away from everything. And
Nah,
when we
man,
built
that's
the facility, it's just like, you know, are we gonna bring the facility? And it's like, no, we probably just do a whole entire like rebuild at the new location.
I like to call it a compound, man. Build a
Yeah,
compound over
you
there,
have
Will. You
to.
know what I mean? And just be right there. Yeah.
And it's
Are
cool
you
too because in our area we had to, you know, build a facility pretty much to match the house here. So it's
Yeah.
cool because, you know, if we do decide to sell or rent out this house, basically you have a heck of a man cave, she shed,
Yeah.
whatever you want
Anything
to
you
make.
want to turn
I mean,
into,
'cause it's
yeah.
huge, you
Workshop.
know,
Yeah.
with water, everything. So it's and central hair. So
Are you gonna still stay in Chicago?
Yeah, for sure. My wife, man, she'll I'll be in Wyoming right now, Darren. If I had the right wife, I keep telling her, man. Got the wrong one, bro. Kind of
you
time.
got the wrong one.
Again, I can't bust a Yui right now. I got to keep going and figure out this way. But
Oh
she.
god.
So my contract is once the kids are grown, me and my wife, we can talk about getting a little more away from the city. I was raised in the city all my life, bro. I'm
Okay.
tired of it, man. I really am.
Yeah.
Does not
I'm so
entertain
happy
me. I
for
mean,
you
I'm gonna miss.
still living. I don't want
Yeah,
nothing
I'm
to
gonna
do with
miss
city.
some things, but I can live without it, right? Like some
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
food, people. Yeah,
Just everything really close by
Oh
is
yeah,
one of those
Charlie, we're
things.
gonna see
Yeah.
you. We definitely gonna
for
see you this
sure.
weekend in
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah,
Definitely.
for
Definitely.
sure, man. But yeah, man, like I want to be, and I'm a big horse guy too. Like as much as crazy as it sounds, when I was little, so I was exposed to different animals, and man, horses are a majestic animal that I would love to own. And again, in order to do that, you got to get up out of here, dog. Wyoming, I go,
That's
man. I heard
Audra.
Where
Audra
Kanye
love
selling that
horses.
compound. I'm trying to save up for that, man. Y'all want to
Audra
go in
love
on it,
horses. I've never been on a horse, and she keeps
bro?
telling me
If you
she's on a horse, and then nah, you won't.
closest thing to a dog, in my opinion, right? Like
Is it
how behave different than dogs.
right?
Horses, bro. Yo, yeah.
Really?
If the animals got souls, the closest thing is a horse. That's all I'm gonna say. Once you build that bond, bro, they different animals, man. Like they'll zip and unzip your sweater. They'll, you know what I mean? It's the reaction with them, dog. It's
That's
crazy,
crazy.
man.
That is crazy.
It might never come true, Will, but yeah, that's why I want.
Yeah, I'm not getting on it, but I'll watch Audra ride.
Yeah, yeah. But again, that's why I want to keep things a little, smaller
yeah.
because I know, I'm not going to be able to make time or have enough space. Again, bro, I'm looking, but right now, real estate game, again, we're supposed to talk about reptiles, but real estate game it's like COVID ball python right now. It might not be the best time to rush into buying a house, so I'm
Right.
still looking, but if I want an acre bigger, bruh, it's nothing
Hmm.
out here unless you pay 1 million or up. So
Yeah.
I'm still looking,
Wait,
bro.
what
I'm
is he
trying to
sorry for?
get creative on how I can accomplish, multiple things.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, gotta raise them tough. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
With they softies.
I mean, again, but my wife said something that was very true, right? And she was like, you got to remember, right? She was like, babe, not all people are like you. Like, and again, I know that's true because not a lot of Asians are like me in the first place. And
Right.
even between Asians, I'm not like, I'm not the normal, right? So again, I moved around a lot and I was raised in my own way, but to force that on the kids is another thing too. So, if they are
Yep.
softies, just make sure they become wise. It's okay to be soft. You don't have to be rock hard, man, but you got to be wise.
I hope so.
Nah, you got it. Well, you got it.
It's hard, man. It's
It
hard.
is, man.
And
It is.
it really is. Without getting all political, just some
Hey,
stuff.
ball python game is hard too, man. It ain't
Yeah,
no one
yeah.
answer for nothing,
And look,
man.
and we still out here trying to figure that out.
Yeah. But we'll get close to it, hopefully, right? And then that's the whole purpose is to pass it on and share what we learn and make sure they're ready to kind of, you know what I mean? Keep this
Well,
journey
now
going.
everything's out
Exactly.
there. All they gotta do is turn on
Exactly.
YouTube. All
Banner
that
has
happens.
a point. Banner got a point, and I know it was on a different topic, but it applies to this too. Not everybody is out for your interests. Everybody's not out for your best interest.
That's never the case. Come on, man. Let's stop with the unicorns in the dream world and how it should be. Let's think
Exactly.
about
But you
how
gotta
things
know that.
are. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You gotta know
You got
that.
to know that.
Oh, especially at the beginning, man. It was a dog world. People were selling fake hats all day long.
This whole time, what I was thinking about Darren and Will is people who's been here again for 20 years, looking at the wave of COVID coming in and the people like,
Yeah.
dog, imagine their perspective. Like,
Right.
hey, here they come, man. Hey, man. And again, it's gonna be a different layer of communication or not. In my opinion, I think so, right? It's a whole different, like,
It is.
whoa, man, we got this wave coming in, man. Let's,
You gotta
again,
you gotta think probably
not gonna be your
before
best
me,
interest.
there was people coming in that was like, oh yeah, sharks. And they looking at minnows and they were taking advantage of every one of you. Coming in.
You had
You want that normal?
Experience.
I need 2,000 for the normal. Oh, she's breeder size.
Damn.
What?
I'm just saying.
I feel you. No, anything went, man. Anything went. Literally, like some wild shit was happening, dog. Again, some things don't get communicated with the network. And again, what we talk about, some people might never even know, right? But again, things some wild things were happening then, and some wild things are happening now. Shit.
For every every 100 grams a female was a price tag on her. So if she was 2,000 grams, you paying $2,000 for a normal female because she's breeder size. The guys are going out there picking up older females from people that just were pets. So they're looking on Craigslist and everywhere else, picking up those females to sell them because they're getting them dirt cheap. Think about that. That was the times. Like normal females
became
were
like so
perfect.
business oriented because of that. And everybody was like, "Yo, this is money. Like, you could just raise it for 2 more months and make money." Like, nah. But and genuinely, you got to have love for the animal and this whole passion, right? So again, I see a lot of people getting out, man, and it's unfortunate, but
that's an understatement. That's it.
But you see it at the gym every year. I see it at the company here. I see it at the school. Everywhere we go, huh? So again, same things happen every day, man. Just different forms. So we got to keep going, man. I like it. I don't plan on going nowhere, man.
I'm not.
And it's about the expectation, like you said, right? It's all about, oh man, but don't do ball python. There's no money in it. It depends how big of a return you're expecting, and if you're expecting that big return, you got to do a lot of homework because, like you said, it's 100,000 people applying for this position, and same thing, right? But
anybody can get in.
Yeah,
you're hired. You want to buy this? You're hired.
10 place seat, you know what I mean? Again, this is a big industry at the same time. It's as big as, I like
now,
it.
Being very opinionated and outspoken in the industry, let's say you get a buyer that comes to you and buys a project level animal from you and asks you like, hey, what direction, do you think that that's a good approach for them to ask you what direction they should go in or stay away from. I know how I answered it. I always want to know at least what their interests are. I don't want to leave them stranded, but you also don't want to kind of just replicate what we're doing in our own collection. They got to have their own vision.
You got to do your homework, to your point. And that's my biggest advice to anyone. If you're asking for an advice, again, like you said, from a customer or from somebody that's trying to get into a project, more specific your question is, better it is to answer. Meaning that, yo, man, where should I go to succeed in ball python, bruh? Right? Like, you got to play that, bruh. Like, bruh. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, yo, what should I pair to this female, bruh? And I gotta be consistent. And KG always make fun of me because he stole that from me, right? But if it's not sustainable, Pat don't fuck with it. Meaning that if it's an energy that I can't keep up and I can only help certain people guide certain ways, and I'm giving different answers to different people, I'm not with that, right? I like to keep my process clean. So again, more specific your questions are, and more, one by one you get, I think more people can help you out. And I take the same exact approach if I have a question. It's not just an open-ended question, right?
What I've noticed a lot is when people first get into it, they always like the lighter jeans first. It's always like that. They like the lighter jeans first. Then after they've been in it for a while, then they're like, okay, I like some of the darker jeans. They start going into the darker jeans.
Yeah. Like Blackhead, I think I sold out almost all the Blackhead stuff that I made and outside of my holdback last year because everybody was chasing that darkness, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, the bright snake, man, there's always demand for it, in my opinion, man. Always. I can't have enough champagne and bananas. I don't have any bananas in my collection, but again, I sold it because it was super pastel. If it wasn't, then I probably held her back and kept on with the project. But now I'm waiting to bring banana in the right way because, again, I like the project, man. And again, it's good looking snake, right? People be like, is that Monarch, Ultramel? No, it's just banana.
Banana.
You just gotta mix it the right way, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Any gene, man. But I like, yeah. But I that's my opinion, right? It's more specific questions you have into the project. I think, anybody that you talk to will have a better answer for you,
Right.
You got to figure certain things out, man.
Yeah, I think that comes with experience too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's by design that literally like 80% of, people that jump into the hobby, end up selling everything and revamping.
Yeah.
They lock in and focus on, whatever they want to focus on with that project. They tend to get themselves correct and straighten up.
Yeah.
That's
one of the things you kind of can't stay stagnant at all. Like, even if you go a certain direction, that direction is going to change too.
Well, it's proven. If you stand still, you're still getting passed up. You're still moving backwards. So I mean, any way you look at it, if you're not moving forward, it don't have to be super fast. But if you ain't moving forward, you're moving backwards. It's just,
if you think you're good, you definitely slacking. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you learn from the best, right? Like look at what Canova's bringing in while he's already ahead. Look at what he's bringing in because reinvestment and constantly, if you don't put your money back into the business, you're always going to be that mom and pop shop. You got to have better process, better.
Word on the street is that he picked up that Bambino gene.
Oh yeah,
Bambino.
Yeah. You haven't seen it, Pat?
No.
You haven't seen the Bambino?
Austin talked about it. I think it's another granite gene. Yeah.
Yes,
granite gene.
I seen it in the super form. I seen it with, I think Blackhead Clown looks crazy, right?
Who has it?
I think Reptile Pit.
Some people have it, I think.
Only one dude
I remember
has it.
I remember some people were buying into it maybe 2 years ago. They had some, you know how like things open up, right? Like right now Cosmos opened up. So like I think it happened like 2 years ago and people had chances to buy in, but I heard it was not cheap.
I felt that. I think Darren, didn't you get that boat?
Get the hell out of here.
Stop it.
The bull or the what is it? The Terminator? The Terminator or something like that?
Oh, they changed it.
They
It's
have.
no, it's
I mean,
Bolt and then
and again,
Terminator. It's
I
like
hope more
Inchi
and
and
more new
Spider.
jeans come out, bro. Like it's
I
gonna
do. I
happen.
do too. I do. I hope. I love new jeans. I really do.
Yeah. But granted,
Bob got a couple
James,
of them
I'm
over
trying
there.
to decide what pivot I'm trying to make. Again, right now, it's tough for me to pledge allegiance to one, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
One to what? One jean?
Yeah, like Voodoo look pretty good,
Oh
Pixel
yeah.
look good, Paint look good. I mean, there's like I don't know 10 more that I'm not even naming. Probably all
Right.
granite jeans. Yeah, like Tornadoes out there too, right? What else?
Yeah,
Cosmos is
Tornado.
granite. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't just granite
Carbon.
everything. You know what I mean? You can't just stack it all. Can't do it though. You gotta pick your own and kind of build on
It's, a,
that, right?
it's just a super granite. Well, like what do you mean? Which pick one?
Yeah,
But
I hear you.
Carbon,
Yeah, no,
Carbon's
I'm
one.
with you. I'm with you, Pat, on that one because it's a lot of stuff out there.
Nah, yeah. You're asking for trouble.
The Grim.
Dog. Yeah,
The Grim is another granite jean.
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot, but I like them.
In UK.
Yeah.
Well, the Bambino, like the super version, like okay, so you see the Grim, and then you see the Grim Reaper. The Super Grim is crazy, right? But
Yeah.
I kind of felt like when I seen the Super Bambino, the Bambino by itself is better. The Bambino Hurricane is better.
Hmm.
But when you start adding the super to it, it kind of like takes away. It's like the granite got kind of just okay. Here we're gonna calm down in the super version. But it would be a powerful gene because you turn around and take that to everything. Everything would be Bambino, whatever. But yes, seeing it by itself is kind of like it looks crazier by a single gene than it is in the super form.
Right.
Monsoon counts as granite, no? I'm into monsoons. It says granite as a guess, like how much more busy is it gonna get, man? You're gonna start erasing stuff.
See, this is what I don't get. People are like, I don't like pinstripe, but then you like monsoon. It's just a recessive pinstripe.
Stop
right?
it, man. No, you reaching now, bro. No, again, you reaching again with fire. You trying to put fire in a heavyweight champion, man. Fire barely can make featherweight right now. Again, like you said, nah.
It's the same thing. Take it to a lavender. What are you gonna get?
Bro, pinstripe is literally like a pinstripe. You know, again, the way you know why I like monsoon on some real Darren, and you were there. How good does a single recessive gene monsoon age? It has no flaw in aging. Man.
No, it doesn't.
So
not at all.
for me to take that and do things again, right? Like you don't want to go opposite way and add things that muddy things up. But again, man, I'm telling you, monsoon is gonna, those are gonna be the snakes that a lot of people don't talk about. Is a lot of snakes wash out. I have some super asphalt combos that are washed out because of fire.
Right.
Yep.
And I see the pattern in there, but as they age, it's getting less and less vivid, right?
Yes. Well, that's just also like
fix that.
Monsoon, you can't add pastel to it. You can't even add stranger to it.
No. And again, if you add pastel leopard, there's ways around it. Again, Darren, like like you guys said, you can't just disabandon pastel because there's ways around it to work with it. But
because the monsoon leopard pastel, wow.
Yeah, that thing
brought everything back and made the blacks even bolder.
And then like the golden trims became more vivid. Like it was pretty cool. Yeah. Because the leopard kind of do that too, right? So, man, but that's the beauty of it, bro. Like if we ain't thinking about something, man, I really every year I notice this. The same comment goes through my head every year. Like, yo, man, I'm so obsessed with ball python. I can't stop thinking about anything else. That's what Justin Kabelka told me 4 years ago. And I was like, no way. That has a different meaning every year to me because I'm opening more and more eyes into what he's taking his time into thinking. It's obviously just not surfing on Morph Market, bro, or Instagram, right? It's like segments of time for different things, if that makes sense. And I'm just
it's passion, that's the passion.
Bro. If you spend that time the right way, there's so much to think about and so much we can do and get there faster.
Yeah, like I told Will, I want to see the hypoexanthic monsoon clown. I want to see that.
Damn.
Wow, that's
doable though if you commit to it right early on and really commit to it. But yeah, it's gonna take some effort. It's
gonna take time.
On Oh yeah.
Is there an hypoexantic clown already?
No,
Hypoexantic
nobody's
clown.
met it yet, but I'm on the road. I'm on the
You're
road.
almost there, you think. So we're almost there. So you just want to add one more, which is Monsoon. You just need
Yep.
about 200,000.
Well, shoot, you already got Xantic clowns,
The clowns. Yep.
and you already got a double head monsoon hypo male.
Yep.
You on your way.
Slowly but surely.
Your way.
Slowly but surely. But that's in
going.
my mind right now.
Yeah,
I need to
that's
see that.
crazy. Golly.
The Pat Freeze.
Nah.
Pat's frozen.
Is he? Let me see.
He ain't moving.
Yeah, he froze.
He froze.
Man, so you want that quad visual? That's gonna be epic.
It's gonna take some time.
What's that mean? Man, it was circling.
Yeah. That was going now.
You were frozen just like how you look right now. So we didn't even know if you were frozen.
All right, cool. That's the whole
Look
point.
the same
So-
way. We're like, wait, is he frozen?
Yeah, I didn't even know. So on the rodent side, do you have rodent customers too, or you
No,
just-
hell to the no.
Hey,
you ain't
with the
going to meet
rodent?
people in the parking
Bruh,
lot?
I produce the bare minimum of what I need and try to nail that production there. I got a couple of homies, that supplement as I need on the ups and down. But bro, that's
Right.
another part I'm trying to really tune because again, that takes a lot of time and effort on that side, right? To kind of
Right.
keep that going. And if I don't need to do more, I don't want to do more.
So
I'd rather
you're
spend that time elsewhere.
over there. Are you fighting the cold versus the heat over here? We're fighting the heat, but it doesn't ever get too cold enough. No.
So the heat, yes, but it's very short, right? So kind of run through my system is in the wintertime, I have a small exhaust fan that circulates air in the shed. And again, it's a shed, right? So I don't need crazy amount of, but
Yeah.
and I have a space heater there, but I double insulated the shed. So it's literally like an ice box, right? So
Yeah.
I have no problem keeping heat there. Now the summertime, because I'm in Chicago, I have to deal with the heat maybe for 4 weeks. Not even straight 4 weeks either. Sometimes it goes over 90, but usually we still stay under 90. And if I can get that airflow going like crazy, bro, and I leave the shed open, you know what I mean? So I can just circulate air like crazy, and usually I'm good.
Yeah. For us, we've been over 100 all this week, all last week. It's
How
just
y'all
been
do that?
That's
101,
crazy.
102,
In
103.
October. Over
It should
100.
be like right now. We should have been cool. This should have been in the 80s, 60s, 80s, somewhere around there, 70s, like at
Yeah.
least.
Then now we
I
got
heard what
hurricanes
you're
forming
saying.
in the bottom. Like all this connected
Mhm.
too, man. You know what I mean? It's too
Oh, yeah.
hot. And it's not snowing in the wintertime as much as it used to either over here in Chicago. Like things are changing for sure, man. But yeah, I don't know how y'all deal with that because everybody I talk to, rodent and AC, they just don't connect with each other no matter what. So much dust, so much.
So much
I don't know. You
dust.
probably a guru in that, man. I don't know.
Yep, it does. It gets it gets
Gotta
you,
get
but
ghetto
yeah.
style. I don't know. Again, right? Like you saw how Canova has it. It's almost like a wind tunnel, right?
Yes,
That just
that's it. No AC, and
yeah.
it's
Literally,
nice and
it
cool
makes
in
you
there.
think like the whole tub and the pine's just gonna lift up and blow out the window type of tunnel. Like, bro, when that it's like a jet engine that turn on, right? It's just everything open up and it's just like you
The
can't even
fans
hear
are bigger than me.
nothing. Yeah, bro, it's huge.
Everything's bigger than you.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but my fans ain't that big. I'm like, golly.
And to your point, everybody has different points, but yeah, you gotta. I think rodents something that I'm just doing bare minimum
Mm-hmm.
as much as I can keep it without compromising.
Right.
Oh
No,
yeah, he had that. So yes, that's one of those times. It's older breeder females that you have that problem with. When they're a little bit younger, you won't have that problem as much. So it's almost like you need to time it from when the temperature is going to change to start bringing in those younger females.
And give them room, bro.
Yep.
They want to lay down and like literally like be flat on the ground. They know how to cool down, but if it's too crowded or they don't get water, air circulation, those are the big. It's just like
air
us,
circulation,
Yeah.
The fans blowing directly on them. but then that creates more dust.
Yeah, it does.
But it's worth
There's
it.
no way
It's worth it
around
at
it,
the end.
bro. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no way around that. I don't think.
So up in Chicago, did you go with ARS racks or Freedom Breeder?
For the rodents,
No, for your collection for the snakes.
so I have both. So I have Freedom Breeder adult racks, and then I have a mini 130 because
Okay.
I love the idea of mini 130, and I wanted to try the ARS too. To be honest, man, if ARS had the shelf, I hope Brian's listening. If Brian can build
I
a
think he's
shelf,
heard that a million times.
I think I can switch over. But again, because I have two Freedom Breeder racks, I think I can go ARS and kind of put it in the middle to like I use the shelf on the side. But I really like the ARS racks, man. I genuinely like it, and they're literally 3.5 hours away from me. So if I order some, it'll be here next day. Like literally, I
Oh
can
yeah.
order. Like, you know, so again, that's a plus, right? So
Right. How long did it
That's
take
a
you,
big
or
plus.
how easy was it to get your Freedom Breeder racks when you got them?
during COVID, it was 6 month wait, I think, like good 6 month. But recently, it's been a couple months, I think, like 2 months turnaround. But it still takes a whole week, right? Once it ships, like it takes 5 to
Mhm.
7 days to get here. You know, once like the freight company picks it up,
Right, I got you. Definitely.
that
That's cool. And you
shipping
don't have to
is.
go. So like Freedom Breeder's 2 hours away from me, but I
That's
still gotta
wild.
wait.
Yeah.
So what do you guys use? So you guys both use Freedom Breeder too?
I'm ARS. I was trying to get us Freedom Breeder when we didn't really know too much about ARS at the time, but it was really, really difficult. That's why I'm happy to hear a positive story, on that side of things. Because with me, like we had our whole order together. It was a hefty order, and they just
It
kind
was
of
crazy, you know,
blew us
because so
off. They're
many
like,
people
whatever.
ordered. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
ARS though. I like their build. I like how they're
Oh yeah,
configured.
we hit ARS up, and they were like on the money. I ended up even
And,
getting
like it's just like
Brian
I don't know if
on.
y'all like I'm like that, right? It's like how the door open and close on a
Mhm.
car, like how the tub slide matters to me,
Slide
right?
in and out was
Yeah,
big. It's
yeah.
big.
So again, yeah.
You're not
But
getting any rubbing. You're
Mhm.
I'm
kind of getting
actually
that
impressed, yeah, what kind of
smoothness.
materials ARS uses to keep that, and I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Their
like it.
tubs seem like
Like
they're a little bit harder plastic.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
it's different. It's different. It's more like the Freedom Breeder is super flimsy, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
But again, what I was talking to some of my boys was if you get the Freedom Breeder rodent rack or the rodent tub, the same FB40 or FB70, right? If you get it in clear, most people want the rodent tub to be clear, right? Instead of gray. So I
Yeah.
got a clear one, and guess what? It turns into ARS, man. Dog,
Yeah.
if I grab the handle and just even with nothing on it, if I try to pull it up too fast, it'll literally crack the whole tub, the FB70, right?
Oh
But if I
wow.
grab the gray tubs, man, I can literally almost bend it, right? It won't crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
That-
like, I ordered the gray tubs by mistake when I ordered levels, but I was like, you know what? I might actually like this
Mhm.
because again, those tubs ain't cheap, and if you start breaking those, man,
Yep.
left and right, bro,
Now
yeah,
I've had a problem with my rodent tubs, because as soon as you dump it, and if I hit it against the garbage can, I've cracked it.
crack it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle,
cracked
I
a
had
lot of
that
it.
same experience. KZ Moore's communication was bad.
It's
I'm
tough,
with you on that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I sent Darren them and KG actually. I sent both of
Oh,
them the Vision new rodent
it's-
rats. I mean, it's intriguing, man. It's very,
Oh,
very
it
intriguing.
is, but once you start putting it together,
Uh-huh.
it says that $1,000 price. I was like, yo, that is it. And then you start saying, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this,
And
it's
then it
like,
goes up.
yep, $2,700, $3,000. I
damn,
was like,
Yeah.
oh,
that's a big plus.
that's a
Hmm.
Freedom
But
Breeder.
they still
The
offer
freedom,
free shipping though, didn't they? When you were plugging it in?
I think they do still offer free
That's a
shipping.
major plus too.
Yeah.
Imagine ordering a whole rodent rack and free shipping.
Yeah,
and
I
this
mean,
is
but
good.
2
Nothing should
hours
be
isn't too far
monopolized,
for me.
man.
Right.
There needs to be good competition, and that's gonna keep things moving. Because if
Yes.
not,
Now, if they get a little bit better price, man, they got it. They got it all the way.
you
You
got
know
to
how many
talk to
people are going
some
to use
people.
those?
Not a lot of. Again, this is just my opinion, but not a lot of reptile business owners are great savvy business owners, meaning
Mhm.
that sometimes they make wrong calls, and
Right.
all it takes is somebody to kind of point that out, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that," and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So Darren, reach out to Vision, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
He'll say, "Yep, yep."
you know. Once you
Put
start
him on
putting
the
it together,
spot.
it's like, yeah, woo, that's
Nah,
up there.
I'm
That's a
with
freedom
Freedom
reader
Breeder
price.
on Road and Racks all day, man, all day.
Yeah.
But again, I heard ARS made a change where you can change the food hoppers to the front now because it used to be only in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, that got renovated, and that's what I want to see because ARS tubs, there's nothing wrong with them either. I like them, right? But I need my food hoppers in the front because I'm not pulling nothing back. Like it's a very one-dimensional shed I have. For
Right.
people that have, racks facing each other and back to back, maybe you kind of open them all up and then load all the food hoppers in the back and keep it away from the water source. But for me, that's stupid,
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
the way your whole system is set up. Nah, that makes sense. I get it. You gotta
Yeah.
have different setups for different people.
Yeah, 2 Freedom Breeder racks is more than enough to supply my whole collection through the ups and downs. So,
Oh, so you do, yeah, because that's what it's what 60 tubs altogether, right?
so I
Depending on
have
which one you
40
got.
tubs. No, I have 40 tubs. So 10 levels of the 10s, FB
Mhm.
Yeah.
10s, right? Equivalent. I have that for 1.3 colonies. Those are for my holdbacks and subadults and adults. I wean those and put them in a different grow out. And
Mhm.
then I have 1.15s in the FB70 tubs. And nothing gets to weaned in those tubs. They're all for hatchling season. And then once the
Okay.
hatchling season is over, those 1.15 will diminish again, and then I'll ramp it up again when I need to create a large amount of pinkies or gummy bears. I like to call them, right? All
How
the
much
gummy
time you
bears,
putting in on rodents every week?
probably 3 hours a week.
Oh, that's not horrible. Okay.
Yeah, that's not
Nah,
bad at all.
nah.
That's not.
It used to be
That's
45 minutes, I think. Well, that was sweet, right? But
Right.
yeah.
I did it every 2 days, 3 days. So I started breeding actually in my basement in a small scale.
Hmm.
And then, I decided to actually go with it. Again, I got my feet wet. I wanted to see, how it was and things like that before. So
Where did you source your rodents? Was it local before you started doing it?
yeah. So there's a couple breeders that are local that
Mhm.
actually breed rats, right? In a large scale, and they do it as a business. So
Okay.
I went to them, and I think during COVID they also had a delivery service that like 3 hours down south of Chicago, but they
Mhm.
were killing it, bro, because they would produce it there, and you have to put your order at least a week ahead of time. But as long as
Mhm.
you meet that window for the week, you get rodents shipped to you over 24 hours, like overnight, right? You wake
Right.
up in the morning, somebody drops off the rodents. But
Dang.
that whole delivery
Oh,
service said, you know what? We're not accepting no more rodents because our drivers are quitting left and right. Y'all over here shipping 4,000 mice and shit. Think about all the pet stores. So it was
Yeah.
literally, they had it down to a science and they were making bank because they're
Right.
charging you for shipping and they're making money
yeah,
on shipping and the rodents. They're
yeah.
just outsourcing it to a company that happened to deal with live rodent over shipping and locally within Illinois. Yo, they had
Right.
to update the policy, bro. And that business went out the door.
Jeez.
So he
That-
was like, I'm not breeding no more. Can't come to the show every 2 weeks and make up for what I used to do, every week. Because imagine how many he would stack up those little freedom breeder, but like double the size, like
Mhm.
3 of them in a rice bag. So you could fit like 60, 70 rodents. Like, bruh, like he used to bring them in, man.
Man, and being in the area up there in Chicago where you are, there's a lot of shows up there. No.
Nah, not really. Because Tinley's so big. I mean, there's still smaller shows, don't get me wrong. But again, like for me, I vended from like a show that brought in 50 people to Tinley, right?
Okay.
There's a happy medium there as well. Like I can't just vend anything, right? So
Mhm.
there's some shows that I wouldn't vend. But again, those shows you bring different animals. You have different strategies for different shows, in my opinion. So
Right. No, I agree with that. It's funny you say that because you vended this wide range of shows when it comes to like the level side. So we tell people all the time, like we reference it the football. We're like, yeah, Tinley, that's like the Super Bowl. Like it's
Yeah.
all the
You won't,
pros,
yeah,
they doing it.
you're not even gonna see the rest of the game. You know what I mean? You probably
Right,
gonna get knocked out the first play type of thing, right? Like,
exactly.
it's this different vibe, like you said. People are telling you, the people that are walking around, bruh,
Hmm.
like it's a different crowd than your local animal
Well,
show
and that's
or
why I say
whatever.
so. It's mesmerizing too, in a sense, because then once you experience that, and you're like, all right, I wanna breed whatever geckos, snakes, and I want to vend. I'm getting excited, and it's cool. I love the excitement, but we want to be transparent too, and every show is not like that.
Nah,
That's
nah,
not what
nah,
you see.
nah.
So when we go and we do like even
Not even
Bob
close.
show, we did Bob show or the All American show with Troy. We do these shows, and honestly, they were both on par with each other. So with the people coming through the door, and to me, that's an awesome level of a show.
Hell
Because
yeah.
we're doing Tinley, we're doing Daytona. Those are the unicorns, in the industry. But when
But
I
again,
mean, I
there's
would love
different ups
for it to
to
be
that too.
normal.
Yeah.
I
Like
would
Will,
love for
like you're known because you vend those shows. People,
right,
you're starting to be a staple in those shows and in the industry, right?
exactly.
So, but to your point, I love that these Troy, Bob, other
Yes,
people are bringing up more shows because, again, nothing should be monopolized, guys.
it
If
shouldn't.
anything is single point of failure, bruh, like that, it's not gonna grow. It has, like, other people have to
Plus,
push each other up.
plus, you got to look at the growth. So things aren't going to go backwards. They're going to go forward, whether you
Yeah.
want it to go forward or not. It's like 20 years ago, bar checks, all the big name people, making these sales word of mouth. Typically during those times, the vending and the shows, that's where you needed to go. You had to go. You driving all weekend to go to these shows. The problem now is that they've made internet. They've made so many things readily accessible, social media, that it's still a draw to go to these shows. It really is. But you're reaching a point where if you don't do your own due diligence, people don't know who Dragon Soul Reptiles is. You don't put your brand out there. Post every
Right.
once in a blue moon. Tell people where you're going to be. Maybe nobody knew who you were until you sold someone this awesome pastel animal.
Right.
Now I'm messing with you. But you sold someone an awesome animal, and now they follow you down that rabbit hole. They follow you on everything you're on, Morph Market, all on YouTube. They go down that journey, and now they're following you where you're going, and now they're in the market to buy another one. And
All
now
day.
what
All day.
happens, you're gonna be vending a show. And you posted it. Oh, I'm gonna go at least check with them first. He answers all my messages and this, that, and the third emails. I'm gonna go show him some love, and boom,
Exactly.
somebody may come back and spend money with you. So I don't think us as a whole as breeders understand that power that we have, and a lot of shows fail due to that. You
All
go
day,
to
man.
vend the show and you're like, oh, this was a horrible show. Well, I mean, what did you do? Did you just sign up for the show and
Hey,
go set
man,
up
like
and go
Michael
vend it?
Jackson said, look, it all started with the man in the mirror.
Yes, you
Oh
have
shit.
to.
Stop looking at everything else and look at what
Exactly.
you
So when
could
you
have
go
done
in
different.
these shows, people coming to your table, whether it's people you already knew or it's people that just happen to come, cross your path, and now you're making these connections. But you make these connections, you talk them up, make a couple sales here and there. But that's a part of the network and getting it out there of where you're going to be. You have a certain responsibility and respect to your own business.
And
Respect
we
your
have
business.
to, right? We
Yeah,
have to make quality animals to
you
meet your
have to.
expectation. And
You
I
have
hope
to.
that's the case, right? Again,
Yeah.
if the people are supporting, hopefully I'm working with the right stuff where you come by, and because um, like the genes and see the stuff, you're like, hey man, you actually have stuff I want too.
Yeah.
Like that's the perfect
It
happy
is.
flow, right? Like, hey, what's
Yeah.
up? Wow, what is that? Wow, great price. Take it, gone, right? We
And I
take care of you.
seen your setup. You got your banner. You got everything is present. Your presentation's on point. Your displays on point. The professionalism, the level is just there. And that's
Appreciate it.
where it needs to be. But people don't understand now. If I'm Joe Blow, and I bought my first snake from you. Now I come to the show only to come see you and hopefully buy something else. Now, when I make that transaction, it don't matter if it's $50, $100, $1,000. I come back to you as a customer, a returning customer. I buy from you, but I'm at this big event. Now I'm going to taper off and go to the next person's booth and learn them, and go to the next vendor and see if there's anything
Exactly.
else in there. So if you have 300 vendors that have 5 people come solely just to come see those vendors, do you know how many of those people are going to turn into customers for other vendors?
Exactly, bro. Yeah, man, for sure.
So if you do that, think about that. So if we have that in any establishment, truly, what job does the promoter really have to do? Almost nothing. And I know they're doing their own thing, but they almost have to do anything. Nothing at
Nah,
all.
if we can self-organize, to your point, there's not much to do, huh? There's not.
I think that's
Like, y'all
our
good? Yeah, we good. You need
yeah,
anything? No,
yeah,
not really. No.
exactly. Because I think we set up, and I want to include ourselves in there because I don't want to seem like we're trying to put ourselves above. And we're all in this game together. But I say we do that to ourselves a lot, where we literally, I'm within the show and I'm just boom. I'll do everything behind the scenes. My animals are cared for. They're awesome animals. And now I show up and I'm like, dang, the show sucks. And then pack up
Nah.
and you go home. What did I learn from this?
Yeah. Did you have the right attitude? Did you have the right
Yeah,
animals? Did you have,
right.
the right setup? Did you,
Absolutely.
again, there's multiple factors there.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
to
So
your
I'm happy.
point, yeah, like there's still a lot of people that are just vending and have
Mhm.
absolute no will to interact with people, or like, man, especially because I travel the country, I'll be seeing some vendors like, oh, I've never seen this vendor, and I walk up and I'm like, damn, these are some fires.
Right.
Still like this, right? Like,
Not even
Mhm.
talking to you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not joking, bro. Not even like
Yeah.
halfway up, like
It's,
all the
it's,
way down. Like, take any snake you want if you could open it, type of thing. Like, bro, like,
Yeah.
so again, you can't blame somebody, because if I had a conversation with you, you have some good
mhm.
animal and good project you work in, right? And these
Right.
are local breeders that are doing their due diligence. But to your point, because certain other things are not in check, that show it might not be the best for you because you're not taking the most out of it.
Absolutely. And then you also got to measure that up too. So for ourselves, I use us for example. If we're going to go and because we just vended 2 shows back to back,
That's
and that
crazy,
was
man.
exhausting. Then you take a week
Yeah.
off, and now we got 10 leave. But to say all that, not only how much work that is for people that are vending, 30 shows, 40 shows a year. I mean, kudos to what you're doing. I would love to have insight on that, because I want to learn. Because for me, I'm like, how on the snake side of things, it's got to be very difficult because and again, knowing what I know as far as now about it, if you're going to go to a show, I look at how Bob does it. Okay, he's not vending all those shows every year.
Not
He's
anymore.
trying to get
No.
out there, not anymore. So he's like, okay, cool. This is the selection I'm going to bring to this show. The next selection is going to be this going to the next show or whatever it may be when he was vending show after show. And now he just has the one selection that he may bring out
I feel
every
like
other
Bob
month.
retired now, man. Shit.
Yeah, because
But
he's
like,
out
think
the
about
way.
it. Back when he was doing those 40 shows, he was probably
Yeah.
grinding, right? And there's
But
a
you know
reason
what?
why Bob became
Picking his
who he
brain.
is now. Yeah,
You got
like
to pick
he
his
had the
brain.
right process, the setup,
Hmm.
how he wanted to approach the crowd. And again, certain people still to this day are moving animals for other people because they're better at moving,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And some
man.
people they
Bob,
have those
Bob, man,
teams.
he got it figured out, man. Yeah,
They
he got
definitely
it.
have those teams where they agree to be the face. They have their partnership, whatever their deal is their deal, and they go out and they move the animals. Some people enjoy, the breeding side of it and not the selling side.
Don't want to deal with it. Yeah, and they do a great
Completely
job
understand.
at breeding
Yeah,
and
completely
envisioning
understand
projects. Yeah. Again,
that,
it
but
all
they know
becomes
their strengths.
partnership. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
man.
They know their strengths.
Yeah, yeah. You got to, man.
Man, oh man. But shoot, we're closing on 2 hours, man. I appreciate you coming, hanging out, and kicking it with us, man.
Yeah.
Talking
No, for
life.
sure. Long overdue too. So
Oh
again,
yeah, you will.
like me and Will, like we again, that's the downside of vending. And if we're all
Right.
vending, though, we don't have enough time because I wanted to chop it up with Will, but I always felt like somebody was chasing me. Like I got to do this,
Yeah.
get back to the booth. So I'm glad we chopped it up, and
Yeah.
hopefully we didn't bore everybody in the chat. But you
Oh
know,
no, man! They already
definitely
locked in the
enjoyed both of you
comments, and
guys. So.
they talking rodent racks, and they going back and forth.
Hey, prove everybody wrong, right?
It's
Walk
awesome.
that walk, man. It's argument is okay, you know. And
Oh
shout
yeah,
out to Kwame Brown, man. I'm not with this get along gang, you know what I mean?
right,
Nah, none of that. You should be, you know, kind of having a backbone again, kind of thinking and maneuvering in this. You can't say, "Oh man, Darren told me it would work and it didn't, so I'm gonna blame Darren."
right.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Darren's trying to help you, but you make the triggers, right? You don't, you know. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was a great
They
live,
give you
man.
good insight. No, it was good. It was good. It's good.
We'll talk again.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure.
we're gonna
Oh
bring
yeah,
it back.
we'll see each other.
Yeah. Next time
Tinley's
we
gonna
gonna
be
see
crazy again. I don't know how much
Oh, you
time
know
he,
it's gonna be lit.
it's gonna be
It's gonna be
crazy, right?
lit.
You know, so but it's gonna be fun times. It's beautiful too. I looked at it, 79 high and low of 57. So a hoodie should be fine, and it's supposed to be beautiful, man. So
Man, something going on in this world, man. Cause I swear, man, the last
it
couple times
used
we
to be
went, it's
blizzard.
been
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Man,
No.
it was freezing.
We used to be ready by October. Everybody salting up, you know what I mean?
Oh
Got
yeah.
salt
Yeah.
stacked up, but now. But around Halloween is, I think, when I usually, at least for us, start seeing first snow, and that happens to be good for kids too, right? But
Yep. No, because that's when we went one year, maybe it was 2 years ago. It was starting to snow. Cold once we came out that venue. I was like,
KG
yo,
was
I ain't used to
cussing me
this.
out in 1 March, man. It was literally blizzarding,
Yeah, I
and
remember
I
when
still
March we was
remember he
there
had
too.
his
It's
Chip Your
cold. Yeah.
Reptile beanie on, and he was like, "Bruh, bruh," just walking around the parking lot to get something to eat. And this dude, you could tell he from Cali, like, bro, this what is this? Like my face is about to fall off, Pat. Like, what is this?
Oh god.
He like, I can't even smile. It hurts.
Nicole was like, I'm not coming back in March ever again, Pat. I'm like, bruh, like, yo, I told y'all to dress warm. It'll be all right,
Oh
man.
god.
Like, bruh, man,
Man.
He's
it's
like,
so fun.
Yeah, we definitely gotta tap in.
yeah,
Hey, Darren, you coming to this one? You coming, Tinley?
I'm not coming to this one.
Well,
Ah,
hey man, make sure you put on the side that he's not 2025 certified North American breeder, because you're not in the
he gonna
conference,
put him under the
dog. I
bus.
don't know.
He gonna put
Yo,
him
man.
under the bus.
Hey man, I don't know, man.
What's
You're
what's
not
the
certified.
contest?
So no, it's just you got to be certified. So whoever shows up to NARBC Tinley October, there's a secret list that Brian
Yeah.
Potter keeps and distributes. And if you're not at the show, you're not part of that distribution group for
Man,
the
Oh,
whole year. Man.
I've been at the show and they ain't never saw me. No secrets.
Nah,
No
it's this
secret nothing. Get
invisible
out of
list,
here.
man. Dog, I'm telling you,
Get out of here.
they don't look at
oh
you the
my
same.
god.
Like, Darren, who's Sloan? What? Did he come to last Tinley? Nah. Oh, okay. Never mind
Nah,
then. Shit, probably didn't even
I
see him.
did.
Nah. I try to
He ain't
make it
even
up
paid
here.
attention
You
to
know
me.
what I mean?
I'm
I
trying to
like
get
the
them
Cali
to
shows
do
too,
wrestling.
man. I like the vibes out there. I just gotta set up a process. Gotta
We
work with
do
my boy
too.
KG. But
Yeah,
Anaheim,
KG
bruh.
got one coming up in November.
yeah, we gotta
What?
get out.
Nah, but nah. LA downtown's too dangerous for me. I don't do that. You know, that's in the past. I don't do that. I want to be near Disneyland. You know, I feel safe.
He like
I feel safe. Yeah.
he said the
Oh
cops
my
are better
God.
over there.
But yeah, I feel like I talked about, like we didn't even talk about too much, snake stuff. But
Right.
I'm definitely interested. And I keep my eyes on Will. I know he making some fire over there. Darren,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know you over there
yeah.
working. I know all
He
of
keeps
us. I know we're
everything. He
working,
keeps
right? Like even
everything.
if we don't talk, I know we all putting
Yeah.
our grind in. So I
Oh
can't
yeah.
wait to see the stuff y'all make. I know. Hopefully we can come. Get some animals from each other and shit.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the beauty of it.
Oh yeah, we will.
You know
For
it.
sure.
You know it. But we're gonna
Will
let
can't
you guys
have
go
kryptonite in it.
enjoy time with your family.
For
You know,
sure.
we're gonna come back on in another 2 weeks. And in the meantime, we're gonna actually get Pat scheduled back up to come up and maybe show some animals off as well, talk more, get deeper into the ball python game, into the reptile game, and overall growth of where he is now or where he will be at that point. I think it's really important to kind of detail the growth out there, especially for a lot of us new people getting in.
Man,
You know,
whatever.
it gives a lot of us hope, man.
We all knew, man. We all knew.
Hey, exactly. But we need that. You know what I'm saying? Because it tends to overshadow like the veterans. Because kudos to them, the veterans who've been doing it.
Hey, but the new class is coming. I already made the announcement. Will, you heard me, Darren? You heard me, yo. I call it the new class, and there's gonna be a cutoff at one point. But I'm telling you, the last 5 years, the people that's been coming in, you better watch out, man. Because
especially because they're out there. They're not even just out there at the shows. They're online,
bro.
Like
we
you
strong.
really see their face.
Oh,
You know, because a long time I didn't know what half these people look like. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know at all.
We'll push each other and keep doing that. You know what I mean?
On the good and bad.
Matter of fact, the next show would be K&D Reptiles.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be an awesome one too.
It's a father-daughter duo.
And it's so important to get the youth involved. It really is.
I bring my daughter over there to the local smaller shows, and she don't really have to do nothing. But again, like you just said, hey, talk to those people. Why can't you say hi? Why you all the time?
Exactly.
You gotta fix it, right? I don't care if you got a mask on, sunglasses on. What do you need?
There you go.
Yo, let's figure it out. And you know what I mean? And she would be like, yo, I want to go back next time, Daddy. That's the thing.
I love
we
it.
Gotta get to come back to the coaching session, Will, right? We gotta kind of
right.
point where they're like, you know what, that wasn't so bad. Like I don't mind doing that class again, you know?
Right. No, and that's what it's got to be about, man.
And to close it out, I want to know what protein you take, man.
A lot of steak.
This dude, man, yo, I'll tell you, bro.
Hey, that's what he's saying. K-Mike said, man, you please.
And I did the right thing, Will. If somebody comes up to you in the show and be like, yo, what protein you take? If they take that line from me, hey, Pat did his work. You know what I mean? Gotta push that. Yeah. But yeah, we gotta have fun while we doing this, man.
Yeah, it's a must. It's necessary, man. It's definitely necessary.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, man. Y'all
have
a good night.
Man. Definitely.
Thanks for coming on.
You already know.
Back to the football, man.
Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, everybody enjoy y'all Sunday, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Hey.